Hello, fantasy managers. Welcome back to another episode of the First Pitch Podcast here on the Pitcherless Podcast Network. My name is Carson Picard. I'll be your host for this weekend edition of the pod. Let's get into everything baseball related from Thursday, June 11th. And we'll start, as always, with our news and notes, starting with a couple injuries, including one really big one. Shohei Ohtani left the game with left knee inflammation, which caused a stir around the league. Fortunately, Dave Roberts does not think it's going to be anything severe. He said his concern was, quote, not high. If you want to believe managers, that's up to you, but it doesn't seem like this is a very major thing and more of a precautionary measure. We will, of course, update you as we get information. Justin Robleski did leave the game in a fairly similar manner, not in terms of the injury and how it happened, but in terms of he'll be fine. Robleski left the start after being hit by a comebacker and colliding with a base runner. Kind of a bizarre play. Seems to be fine. He was getting up there in pitch count anyway. But Robleski, little banged up, should be fine to make his next start. Will Smith, though, has hit the 10-day IL with neck inflammation. This is going back from a couple days ago. But yes, Will Smith will be on the injured list for a couple of weeks here. So those are the injuries, and they're all Dodgers injuries. Those are the only people that got hurt today. Thursday has a short amount of games, of course, and so, yeah, not too many chances. Still, all Dodgers. Couple rehab starts to mention and recovery updates now. Drake Baldwin will begin his rehab start this weekend for the Braves. He is getting close to coming back. J.P. Crawford will be resuming baseball activities. He was able to grip a bat and a few other things as he's coming back from a hand injury. Kodai Senga made a rehab start. Shane Bieber made a rehab start, is very close to rejoining the Toronto rotation. Ryan Helsley had a really nice rehab outing of 3 strikeouts, and Luis Robert, just a recovery update here, or Luis Robert rather, still recovering. That's what I got. Official Mets update is he is on the road to recovery and progressing steadily, if not very rapidly. So we still expect him to be out a little bit. Couple transactions to mention, nothing too major. The Angels signed Taijuan Walker to a minor league deal, and Esmeralyn Valdez was recalled by the Pittsburgh Pirates. And lastly, today, as you're watching / listening to this, Jordan Lawler is expected to be activated, and hopefully he will be able to stay healthy for longer than a couple weeks. So that's going to do it for the news and notes. Nothing too major as it's a Thursday, but we now move on to the notable performances from our 7 games on Thursday. The game was rained out between the Braves and White Sox. So we look at the hitters of the day, and I'm saying the hitter of the day is the entire Tigers lineup. They absolutely whomped my Minnesota Twins to the tune of 6 home runs and 13 hits in an 11-0 victory. Absolutely phenomenal performance from a team that has not been doing very well offensively. And one player I do want to highlight is Colt Keith, who's having a really nice year. Colt Keith, 2 for 4, a home run and a stolen base. Remember when Colt Keith just wasn't hitting home runs at all? That was the storyline for a while. Doing a little better now. Gets a combo meal, 2 for 4 as the entire Tigers lineup absolutely annihilates Sebby Matthews and the Twins. More on that in a bit. Moving on, Cole Young had a nice day, 3 for 5 with a home run for the Seattle Mariners. Adley Rutschman went 2 for 3, a walk and a double. He's quietly reestablished himself as one of the better catchers in baseball. Taylor Ward went 1 for 2, got hit by a pitch and was walked. Shohei Ohtani would have maybe been the hitter of the day had he stayed in. He went 2 for 2 with a home run and 2 walks. Maybe should have been in general, getting on base 4 times. But Ohtani did leave, and I think I just couldn't put him in there. Brandon Lau went 1 for 4 with a home run and a walk. Seiya Suzuki went 1 for 4, but the one hit he made the most of, a grand slam for Suzuki as they defeat the Rockies 9-3. Alex Bregman went 1 for 4 with a walk and a home run. Pete Crow Armstrong joined in the fun with 2 for 5 and a stolen base. Carl Carrig, a name you may not know, a recent call-up by the Rockies. He had a nice day, went 2 for 4 with a home run. And Troy Johnston, a name you may know if you've been paying attention to the waivers, he went 3 for 4 with a double, quietly having a pretty nice year, hitting over 310 for the Colorado Rockies. Corey Seager went 2 for 4 with a home run. Recently got activated from the IL, of course. Brandon Nimmo went 2 for 4 with 2 doubles. Still so weird he's not on the Mets. Jack Caglione went 2 for 4. Otto Lopez 2 for 4 with 2 stolen bases. Lars Nootbaar had a tape measure 445-foot blast with a single as well to have a 2 for 4 home run day. Alec Burleson went 1 for 4 with a home run. He just chased a home run. He just chased a fastball upstairs and ripped it down the first base line in the first inning. I saw that one live. I was like, good Lord, I need to talk about that. Jared Young went 2 for 4 with a home run. I am picking him up whenever I can in my fantasy leagues because he's been really good when he is playing for the Mets. Bo Bichette, 1 for 4 with a home run. Juan Soto, 2 for 4 with a home run. No walks, curiously, for Soto. Feels like I just expect him to have one. But only 7 games to talk about, so not too many notable performances on the hitter side. Still, be sure to check out the Daily Batters Box article to find information on all of these hitters and more. I'm going to take a short break, and I will rejoin you with the starters and relievers in just a moment. All right, welcome back to the First Pitch Podcast here on the Pitcher List Podcast Network. We move on now to talk about the notable performances from our starting pitchers. There weren't many. I had to really search, actually, which is a rarity. A lot of stinkers put up today, and a lot of players that were interesting in one way or another, but not a lot of great performances. So my pitcher of the day is gonna be Tyler Phillips. Yeah, Tyler Phillips, the pseudo reliever for the Marlins. 5 innings, scoreless frames tossed, 2 hits, 5 Ks, 2 walks on 70 pitches. Not a long outing, but an effective one. Got 8 whiffs, 37 CSW, got a lot of called strikes. The sinker was working, and the breaking and off-speed stuff was able to function as well. So Tyler Phillips, the PLV grade didn't love it, but ultimately he was one of the few pitchers that didn't allow any runs on the board today. And so I gave it to him. Congratulations, Mr. Phillips. Brian Wu is who I would love to be on here. He did not deserve to. 5 innings, 7 earned runs, 7 hits, 4 Ks, 1 walk on 82 pitches. This one got away from him. Wu allowed 6 runs in the 3rd inning to the Orioles. Just 9 with 23 CSW%. Yeah, just didn't work out for Wu here. And I still am just like hammering home. I think he's really good, and he's not a 4.3 ERA pitcher. This would be a great time to buy low. But man, it's been like 2.5 months of him just not being that ace we were expecting him to be coming into the year. And we know he can be. Justin Robleski, we talked about him a little bit earlier before he was taken out, had an okay outing. Not really. 4 2/3 innings, 4 earned runs, 6 hits, 1 K, 2 walks on 80 pitches. He was looking a bit better in the recent weeks. Robleski was. This is kind of a reversion back to that, he should have a lot higher ERA. Robleski, not great. 7 whiffs, 25 CSW%. The strikeouts, it's a bad line. It's a bad line. Not too much to say. Hopefully he will recover from his little scare here and do better next start. Mitch Keller didn't give Robleski must panic, though. 4 innings, 5 earned runs, 7 hits, 3 Ks, 4 walks in 4 innings and 98 pitches. You got to be better than this against the Dodgers. 4 whiffs, 18 CSW%. Yeah, this is just a race to the bottom in this start, really. Pretty rough from Keller, who's been unlucky all year. Not a result here. It's hard to be unlucky with just 4 whiffs. Michael Wacha went 5. No, he went 7. He went 7 innings, 4 earned runs, 9 hits, 2 Ks, 1 walk on 102 pitches, 7 whiffs, 22 CSW%. Michael Wacha is not a very good pitcher. He's just not that excellent. The stuff grade was an F today. Rough. It's rough. It's rough. It's hard for me to say too much about this other than, you can stream against really poor opponents, and it's nice that he went kind of 7 innings. That's a good amount of length out of your starter. But thoroughly unappealing for most fantasy applications. Zebby Matthews, who used to be kind of interesting. I think we can safely write him off at least for the rest of the year. 6 innings, 7 earned runs against the Tigers, 9 hits, 4 Ks, 1 walk, and 81 pitches. He just got shelled. 9 whiffs, 23 CSW%. The velo, which we were kind of really excited about with Zebby, like last year, it was looking like he was flashing 98, 99. Being able to be a kind of mid to high velocity guy, Vila was averaging 93.6 today. He just didn't have it. And it's been a complete regression for Matthews, who already wasn't looking very good. I think this is a guy who just isn't really relevant for fantasy contexts. Christian Scott went 4 2/3, 4 earned runs, 7 hits, 6 Ks, 1 walk on 88 pitches. I saw a bit of this start. The ball was flying in Citi Field today. Don't know why, but it was a really hot day, so that probably plays some part of it. But regardless, Scott looked fine. There's not too much to say about this, really. 13 whiffs, 27 CSW percent, a couple balls left the yard that, I mean, the Burleson home run, right? I talked about earlier. That was like a, around chest height as opposed to the waist. Got crunched a little bit. Simple as that. Edward Cabrera went 5 1/3, 2 earned runs, 5 hits, 5 Ks, 2 walks on 83 pitches, 10 whiffs, but 19 CSW percent, nearly no called strikes. It's not horrible. It really isn't, but it's not very good now, is it? It's not very good now, is it? Now, granted, this is in Coors Field. Things are weird here, but I don't know. It's a couple rough starts. We'll monitor how he does in the next couple. Give the Plus Pitch podcast a listen and check out Nick and Jake's daily SP roundups. As we now move on to the reliever rundown, which is going to be very brief because there were really no major things to talk about besides a couple holds. Devin Williams picks up his 9th save of the year. Pete Fairbanks picks up his 8th. Tanner Scott picks up his 7th save of the year. And Andrew Kittredge picks up his 1st save of the year for the Orioles. Remember him? Remember Kittredge? Yeah. Really no poor bullpen performances. Sometimes I do a who blew it segment. And no one really blew it. Everything was really normal. So we move on to look forward to the full slate of games here on Friday. It is going to be an interesting slate of games here. Few interesting matchups I want to highlight. First is the Phillies at the Brewers. It is Andrew Painter versus Jacob Mizorowski. Kind of a hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby one here. Painter, he's been really rough to start the year. Can he recover? I don't think so. But it's going to be Jacob Mizorowski, and that's kind of must-watch baseball at this point. Dude is the most electrifying arm we've seen in quite some time. The second game I want to highlight here is Sandy Alcantara versus Braxton Ashcraft. It is the Marlins at the Pirates, the battle of the two A's. And then it is the Rangers at the Red Sox. It is Jack Leiter versus Sonny Gray. And finally, I'm struggling to get through this because I'm like, I just want to go through and talk about this game because it's much more important, frankly, than the other ones. But I've locked myself into this format. Braves at the Mets, 7:15 Eastern. It's going to be Spencer Strider versus Nolan McLean. These are two interesting pitchers. Strider is trying to kind of find himself after Tommy John, while McLean is looking to establish himself in Major League Baseball. Had a great April, had a rough May. How is he going to do against a vaunted Braves lineup rather in June? So that's going to be my game of the day, and that's going to be the First Pitch podcast today. Thank you for bearing with all my stutters. For a deeper dive on everything baseball, hop on to pitcherlist.com. For further access, sign up for PL Plus, the PL Pro, to gain access to the Discord, PLV apps, and to support the Pitcherlist staff. Finally, my name is Carson Picard. You can find me on the Shallows podcast with my great, also stumbling host, Eric Henriksen, and as well as on the website formerly known as Twitter, at Carson Picard PL. Thank you very much for listening. Good luck with the rest of your weeks. Bless the knees, bless the elbows. Have a good weekend, y'all. Take care.